success.
Nothing that if I tell everyone how I made this money, that it's going to affect me in any sort of way.
AMD, if we get a quick little pop above $12, I'm thinking about maybe a quick little short over on AMD. Finger on the trigger to lock in profits when it starts moving back on up. Here we go. Nice job. Let's take it. $979 in profit. Look at this spike, baby. Taking some gains right off the top right here. 124,000.
You just got to know what you're doing.
200.
Every single person can be successful.
Dollars in profit.
There's no reason for you not to become a full-time
now
trader.
Now we're currently up $2,100. Let's just keep it going even more. I want every single person. Now we're up $2,500. Now we're going up to $117.40.
It's not like it's a competition. It's if I tell you how I was able to do this, go out, make that money, make a killer, and let's all absolutely crush it together.
Baby, let's see this thing keep unfolding even farther here. We're up $1,100 within the first 5 minutes of the day. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. Good morning, traders. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to have ourselves a day. We are about to have ourselves a sense of clarity, a sense of recognition, a sense of opportunity. Right now here, traders, we are heading into Thursday, first week of September, one of my favorite times of the year to trade. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, September all the way until probably February is hands down my favorite 5-month stretch of trading. Why is that? Because September is the worst performing month of the year. Okay, Dek, why is that good? It means it's very volatile. We see a lot of action. We see a lot of selling. Guys, guess what? I don't care if stocks go up. I don't care if stocks go down. I care about movement. And September is a month we get a lot of movement. Usually it's on the downside, but we have movement. And if we have movement, we have money to be made. Guess what happens in October, November, December? Those are 3 of the hottest, most positive months of the year. So we basically have 1 step back to take 10 steps forward. We make money on the downside. We make money on the upside in the upcoming months. The end of the year, everyone's going crazy. Everyone wants to finish off strong. Everyone wants to make as much money as they can before the end of the year. Then guess what happens? We have the start of the year. Everyone wants to go crazy. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants it to be the biggest year they ever had. I'm telling you right now, over the next 5 months, we have the most fun. We have, of course, the action. We have every single trader getting themselves involved. And then the start of the year, everyone wants to start getting a little crazy once again because they want to make it the best year they ever had. So this is the time we got to lock in. Traders, summertime trading is over. Summertime trading is when a lot of people take vacations. Summertime trading is when people say, hey, you know what? I got to spend time with my kids, my family. Now people are back to work. Kids are back to school. There's no more beach trips. People are saying to themselves, let's lock in at this moment. So, over the last few days, as you guys know, we've had a lot of fun. We've been able to make some good money. Yesterday, we traded. We were able to make a nice $500 profit. We had a lot of trades yesterday. Some wins, some losses. But at the same time, again, we were able to make a nice little $500 profit, which was solid. Over on Tuesday, remember the stock market was closed over on Monday. Over on Tuesday, we were able to trade, and guess what, guys? We were able to make a nice $1,400 profit. I think I skipped it accidentally, but yes, right here, $1,400 in profit over on Tuesday. So that was really fun. That was really awesome. That was absolutely great. So we want to see, of course, what we can do today. If we made $1,400 over on Tuesday, we made $500 today. Let's set a target right now, traders. I want to go for $850. Let's kind of like split the difference a little bit. Actually, splitting the difference is more towards like $950. Let's go somewhere just right around 1,000, right? Right around 1,000 is going to be our goal. Right around 1,000 is what we're going to be looking for. But the question is, how? How are we going to get that 1,000? How are we going to be able to get that $1,000 in profit? Well, I want to tell everyone. But at the same time, before I do, smash that thumbs up right now. Everyone, take a second. Hit that thumbs up right now. So, make sure you guys are all set, ready to get after, ready to be dialed on in here. It is going to be an absolutely incredible day ahead. I absolutely love being here with you guys, working and be able to live stream in front of you guys every single day. So much fun. Now, let's go ahead and let's break this on down. Traders, we do have a few plays that we must keep on high watch and high alert right off the rip. And that is going to be CIGL, BRIA, ZNB, BSLK, BBLG. These, again, top gainers. These are some top gainers that are already having a little bit of hype behind them that could possibly, again, take on off and start getting that next wave, that next momentum. So, traders, let's talk with number one right here. Number one is CIGL. Now, the thing is, team, there is no news on CIGL this morning. If you guys head on over to Fox Runner and you guys take a look at what are all the best press releases with news this morning. BBLG had news this morning. BBLG, we did have the CEO write a letter to the shareholders. We did see American Eagle Outfitters come on out with that Sydney Sweeney earnings report, which did well. We were able to see a couple decent press releases, but it's not like anything insane today. We did not have any sort of big, massive press releases here this morning, but still our number one top gainer in the stock market right here, CIGL. How is that? How is the number one top gainer in the stock market, CIGL, when we don't have any sort of news? Well, it's almost like what we saw the other day with HWH, right? HWH, guys, we saw this play turn into a massive top gainer the other day, and this one did not have any sort of news either. So what is going on? Why is that? Why is it the last 2 days we have seen stocks go on spikes without any sort of news? And really the answer is they're just low floats that are catching fire. So traders, let's see what we have right here. It says CIGL is our low float runner this morning with no news. CIGL, no news, new highs, 1.44 million in float. So it says, this was an hour ago, as of 8:10 a.m. Eastern time, right? We are seeing at this moment CIGL being in the number 2 top gainer in the stock market with a 68% gain. What is the float? Now, why does this matter, guys? What is the float? The float are the shares available to public. You guys already know this. This is a recap. Essentially, all it comes on down to is when you have a low float, you have a low supply of shares. That's it. A low float is a low supply. If you have a low supply of something and you want everyone buying it, you have the price increase. The most simple and easiest way to think about this, and if this confuses anyone for whatever reason, is just imagine this example, and this is how I think about it, is imagine if there was one house for sale, One house for sale. But again, you have this guy who wants to buy it, this guy wants to buy it, this guy wants to buy it, and this guy wants to buy it. You have all of these people who want to buy this one home. What do you think is going to happen to that home price? Well, if someone says, hey, you know what? This home is $200,000. This guy says, I'll pay $200,000. But then guess what this guy does? This guy says, I'll give you $250,000. And guess what this guy does? This guy says, I'll give you $300,000. So on and so forth. So again, the house keeps appreciating. We have a low supply, one home. We have a high demand, 4 to 5 bidders on this home. That house price is going to increase in value. So it's the same exact thing that we're seeing right here. We have a low float stock. And for whatever reason, this morning, everyone wants to go over towards CIGL. So traders, let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here so far gotten FOMO out of CIGL? Dek, I really want to trade CIGL. Well, why? Why do you want to trade CIGL? Because people have already come up to me and said, Dek, what's the best entry on CIGL? You only want to trade CIGL because other people are trading CIGL, because you see that the stock has made other people money. That's it. So the thing is, you want to buy CIGL in the hopes that it makes you money. There's no reason on why the stock is up. There's no big credible news on CIGL. This is all, again, just a momentum play. It's retail traders like you and I. Again, the market's back, baby. We have a lot of people that are done with the summer. Kids are at school. People are back to work. People want to trade. So the thing is, every now and then we might see a stock that catches some fire, and a stock goes on a big rip, big run, big pop, big climb. And that is absolutely beautiful, and that's absolutely awesome. Now, at the same time here, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand when we take a look over on CIGL, we cannot put ourselves in on this play just to hurt ourselves, right? We have to still have a great game plan and have the understanding of why is this stock moving the way it is, right? Why is this stock really taking on off? So, when we take a look over at, let's get back to it right here, team. When we go back over to CIGL and we kind of break this play on down, you know, what does it say? Float is simply the low supply. Volume is the demand, yada, yada, yada. What do we have here? The float is 1.44 million. Now, if anyone needs a number, basically anything under 5 million is low float. So anything under 5 million is considered a low float play. Now, what's the perfect recipe to success? If you want to see a massive breakout every single day, what is the perfect master, recipe for a massive move? You want to see a low float stock, but then you want to see a big press release behind it. When we see stock XYZ partners with NVIDIA and it has 1 million in float, stock's going up 500%. If we see stock XYZ comes out with positive drug trials and it has a low float, stock's going on a big time rip and run. Credible news is going to give you a reason to buy that stock. A low float is going to, again, allow the stock to spike very big. And of course, big volume. Big volume is what's going to fuel the stock to spike. So you want to give it news to give traders a reason. If enough traders move into a play, that's going to be big volume. And if you have big volume on a low supply, stock's price is going to increase. News, volume, low float. Those are the 3 most important things when finding a big time breakout. Now, sometimes you can miss one of the ingredients. Sometimes you may not have news, but you have big volume and a low float. Sometimes you might have news and a low float, but you don't have big volume, and that's kind of why you get like those choppy plays that still move on up, but they just move on very slow. So again, this all happens, and we just want to make sure that we're aware of it. It's almost like the same exact thing. Let's take a look back to Tuesday. Tuesday, guys, I believe we saw something very similar. And I believe, let me see if I can find it real quick, over on HWH, right? So let's go back on Tuesday, HWH right here. And I want you guys to see this one because I remember reading this right here, right? So again, let's look at this real quick, traders. What do we have right here? We actually have HWH. This was Tuesday's #1 top gainer. Stock went from $2 and spiked all the way up to $8. Insane spike. Where it says at 6:50 a.m., HWH is currently the #1 top gainer in the stock market with a 127% gain. This stock, again, had 1 million in float, a low float stock, right? It was a low float stock. HWH, the stock was alerted when it was all the way down towards $3, right? We were aware of this play, and guess what happened? HWH ran all the way up to $7. It's now sitting at $5. So sometimes, even if a stock doesn't have a good credible press release, it's still going to just catch fire and be able to take on off. And that's really cool, and that's really good news. So I'm actually leaning today, guys, that we're actually seeing a lot of plays going on big rips and runs. And the thing is, they don't even have any sort of news. It's just people are hearing and people are excited to trade. So the good news about this, traders, is let's go back over towards this. We did just talk about CIGL right here with its slow float. Now, CIGL, this is one that we 100% are going to keep our eyes peeled on, and we're going to dive into this one in a little bit more detail. But you know what's also funny? We're talking about HWH. This is another play that was alerted once again today because it says this. First, it was SOGP. Let's remember SOGP. Then it was IPDN. And now it's HWH. So we're having a lot of these plays, these continuous top gainers. Traders, take a look at this right now. You guys ready for this? HWH. HWH. Stock spiked, has a little bit of a pullback, and now is starting to spike its way back on up. You guys see this? Spike over on Tuesday. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a pullback, and today, we're gapping back on up looking for that next leg. Let's see what else we had. We had SOGP. SOGP, guys, spiked, had a little bit of this pullback, and now has absolutely exploded and still looking for, again, some new highs. Let's see again what happened on INDP, or IPDN, I believe it is. IPDN spiked, had a little bit of this pullback, like a consolidation day, and then went on an absolutely crazy rip and run. One of my favorite climbs right here. Traders, this is what's so cool. One of my favorite chart patterns, and I call this the mid-candle breakout pattern. It leads to explosive gains and explosive moves. We could see IPDN. Day 1, nice spike. Day 2, consolidation. Day 3, next leg and big-time breakout. SOGP, day 1, nice spike. Day 2, consolidation, pullback. Day 3, explosive rip, explosive run. Possibly HWH today. Day 1, great spike. This was over on Tuesday. We have yesterday, Wednesday, we have a nice little pullback. And now today, day Thursday, we have again day 3 all the way back up here. People are getting excited to move in on this play. Could this happen maybe tomorrow over on CIGL, where CIGL has a spike? Maybe again, we have a red day tomorrow and then we start moving back on up. Absolutely. But I would say we definitely have to watch HWH because the thing is, SOGP is going crazy right now. IPDN is going crazy, and now HWH might have this on watch. So I call it the mid-candle breakout pattern, but this is just saying more of continuation breakouts over on Foxrunner. So it says, HWH is a previous top gainer to watch. Keeping previous top gainers on watch for continuation breakouts is an excellent idea. As long as previous gainers continue with its buying momentum, you can easily see another big day of spiking. When looking at previous top gainers, you will notice a very similar pattern. Day 1, a large green day from news, strong buying volume, hype, those type of things. Day 2, pullback, consolidations, buyers take profits, shorters enter. Day 3, the stock finds support, buyers re-enter for a dip buy, shorters are then squeezed as buying momentum returns. So take a look at HWH, then look at the examples over on SOGP and IPDN. So we do have HWH, right? HWH is going to be right here. Nice spike, nice pullback, getting ready for the explosion. SOGP, nice spike, nice pullback, had the explosion. IPDN, nice spike, consolidation, explosion. So the thing is, while we are saying, hey, be ready for possibly HWH to be a nice play today and maybe run back up towards $8, right? Just like HWH is starting to spike right now. You also want to remember SOGP can make you a lot of money today. This one could possibly be going crazy. I mean, take a look over. Let's go back to a 10-minute time frame. SOGP right here, team. Massive spike. Consolidation, massive spike, right? IPDN, this one could also be a great top gainer today. So it's not always about, finding news. And I'm very happy that Foxrunner alerted me on this morning because I kind of forgot about, SOGP and IPDN. And then HWH setting itself on up right here. This one definitely has a lot of potential to be able to break on out. So really, if you're saying, Dek, what are 4 stocks that we can watch this morning that don't have any sort of news today? We have HWH, we have SOGP, IPDN, and then on top of that, we also do have, of course, CIGL. And these are probably going to be the top 4 that I'm going to be looking for at the start of the day, and they don't even have any sort of credible news behind them. So let's see right now here, traders, what stocks do have news that maybe we want to be looking at. Are there any? Well, we do have, starting on off, BBLG. Let's see here, BBLG. Do we need this play? I would say, again, BBLG, strong resistance at around the price of $3. Gets above $3 over on BBLG. That's the magic formula, guys. Now, again, another cool thing you guys could do is just short right at $3. If you guys are saying to yourself, hey, Dek, every time we come up to $3, it seems like this gets rejected pretty good. Just look for a short at $3 and see if the stock is going to fade and fall. That could be a great little play. We have American Eagle did come out with good earnings. So again, little heads on up. American Eagle, it's not going to be a fast play. It's a very large float stock. But at the same time, American Eagle did beat on its earnings. It is a top gainer this morning. That's, again, the Sydney Sweeney ad, as you guys know. And they actually did very well. So what else do we have here? SYPR, starting to fall right back on down. And BRIA has some news this morning. BRIA, that one's starting to get weaker. So again, BBLG, short at $3. I like it. If you guys want to, let's short at $3. Other stocks to watch, though. SOGP, IPDN, HWH, and CIGL. Those are the top ones. Remember, BBLG is the #1 press release this morning. Keeps getting rejected at $3, but it does have a letter from the CEO to the shareholders. Yada, yada, yada. We're doing well. Bling, bling, bling. The thing is, people get excited when the CEO writes to the shareholders. It keeps getting rejected at $3. That's all we really need to know about that. Other than that, CIGL is a top gainer, and then HWH is there as well. And then, of course, we have SOGP and IPDN. Those are my top plays. Those are the stocks that I like the most. Let me just see if there's anything else here that I like. NAOV is not really holding right now. HWH, we like it. PPBT spiked and dumped here today. If you guys haven't checked this on out, always check this out as well over in the news alerts tab, guys. There is, again, blue chip news today. Highlights of the morning. So again, it goes through each sector. Technology sector goes over, again, AI, Salesforce, Apple, Google, Waymo, OpenAI, goes through healthcare, goes through consumer, goes through financing, right? So again, just a little heads on up if you guys are more interested in blue chips in the overall market or certain sectors. Make sure you guys check that on out. Let me just see BBLG. That was, again, we already talked about that, and we can talk about some of this other stuff later on. So we are all good here. I really like our game plans on what we have. Well, Dek, you told us again, we have a couple plays that we definitely like. But is there any play right now that, with a game plan? Because now we got 5 minutes to try to put together a game plan. We got 5 minutes to try to put together an absolutely perfect setup on how are we going to truly make money on this day. So let's do this together now so every single person is prepared and aware. Let's go off right here. Let's go with CIGL. Okay, I got my caps lock on. Hold on. We have CIGL. Right? We know this is going to be a hot stock to watch. Now, again, let's remember something. CIGL does not have any credibility. This is like an HWH play. We're basically saying to ourselves, hopefully it keeps going, but there's a chance that this one falls and fades. Now, team, let me ask you guys a question. What would be the target over on CIGL? If you guys are here for, again, the boot camp of last week, you guys know what's the target on CIGL. Well, the easy target would probably be the 50-day moving average, 546. So again, CIGL, we do a 546 50-day moving average target. That's going to be, a great target for us for, again, buyers to try to push this play on up if it can, really get that hype. Now, obviously, our starting resistance, though, is going to be the pre-market high right around that 420 mark. So again, CIGL, we do have a target. Let's just type out, let's type this in a little bit different. Let's go with resistance. Right now, RES, resistance, 425, right? 425, why does that matter to us? Because that is the pre-market high. Dek, what am I looking for then? Well, you can either buy right now, ride it up to 425, or you could look for shorts at 425. Okay, Dek, what if we break through 425? Well, if we break through to 425, we are going to try to have a target up towards around that 546 area. That's going to be the target where, again, most traders are going to try to rip and run this play up to. Well, Dek, what if it fades and falls back on down? It seems like most of its support is back on down towards this dip buy, and that's going to be right around 340. So again, we do have support right here. And that's going to be around 340. So now if you are interested in CIGL, you're saying, all right, if I want to do a dip buy, I'm going to do it around 340. If I want to do a short, I'm going to start at around 425. If it breaks through 425 and I add on to this play, I want to see if it runs up to 546. At 546, I can take profits. 546, I could also start a short. As long as you know these three areas, you can figure out dip buy, entries, exits, shorting, stop losses. You can figure out everything, right? So again, that's absolutely beautiful. Let's go over to the next play, HWH right here. Now, HWH, once again, has no news on it, is a previous top gainer. Let's see what HWH has in store for us. Now, HWH here, team, let me go back into a little bit of a larger time frame. Stock's above $5. $5 is going to be the ultimate support line, but let's actually kind of take a little bit of a step back. I would say HWH 575 right here would probably be the starting dip buy bounce play. So if you want to say, Deck, what's the good starting support line? I would say 575 would be a good starting support line over on this play. What would be our resistance currently over on HWH? Yes, it is the pre-market high. This thing is still trying to move. I would say, though, I want to take a look at the past chart history pattern. Where do we have dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, strong resistance? I mean, guys, we are going to be opening up, I think, right at some strong resistance. You guys see this? Look at this. Dip buy, lower shadow, dip buy, lower shadow, dip buy, lower shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow. I mean, I don't think we're going to have an easy period to get through 625. 625 is going to be a little bit tough. And then our target, what do you think our target is? Our target's going to be try to get back up to like 740, 750. So again, target's going to be up towards around 740, 750. That's going to be an absolutely great goal. Now, what else do we have here, guys? We also have SOGP. SOGP is another pretty crazy hot stock team. You know, let's just kind of do this one quicker. Let's go with resistance line today. It's going to be $30. Our target on this play is going to be $35. And again, our support line at this moment, I would say wait for support to fall back down to like 23. I know, again, that might be a little bit farther away, but I like how we have this nice platform. Dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, $23 could be a nice area. So again, support at this moment is going to be 23. So basically, starting on off, that's kind of how I would be looking at this play. I'll take a quick little screenshot as well and post it over in chat over on Tradecaster so that you guys have a good idea of you know, what you guys should be focusing on and what you guys might want to be looking at, you know, right at the bell here. Market opens up in about a minute, so obviously, you know, look, we got to make sure that we are staying ready. Alpha options, mid-candle breakout patterns only happen on daily charts. They do not happen on 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute charts. Little heads on up. So again, only on daily charts, heads on up for you guys. My starting goals here. And that's all I'm going to put. Guys, market opens up in about 1 minute. So let's just see kind of like what gets this hype. Yes, I'm looking for shorts. Yes, I'm looking for breakouts. Yes, I'm looking for action. Yes, I'm looking for activity. I'm looking for, again, a lot of hype, you know, throughout today. See where, again, the buying volume might be able to take us and where the action is. Guys, if you guys haven't smashed that thumbs on up yet, smash that thumbs on up. Let's get ourselves excited. Let's get ourselves motivated and let's get ready to make some money. That's what I'm saying here, traders. So it's going to be an absolutely awesome day. Wanted to go over absolutely everything for you so that you guys are ready to go and see where this main attention is going to be taking us. Guys, what was that stock that kept getting rejected at what was that stock that kept getting rejected at $3? BBLG. Let's see here. Guys, BBLG, I just want to see how much are shares to short over on BBLG. BBLG, if I wanted to get, let's say, 4,000 shares to short this play, I just want to see how much this costs in case it does get a little bit of a spike. That costs $20. Little heads on up, $20 or 4,000 shares over on BBLG. I'm probably going to accept that just in case this one does spike back up towards around that, you know, area. Even though this is not the hottest stock of the day, I don't mind looking for maybe, again, a nice little slow and steady short as BBLG tries to come on up towards around that $3 mark. So BBLG traders, this might be a nice little play here today to get myself started. And I'm actually going to start off with some small positions over on BBLG right here. So BBLG, gonna start off with some small positions and see if this thing can hold underneath $3. Now, if you're saying, Deck, why are you looking at BBLG? There is no magic secret here. All I'm trying to say is if we take a look at the chart, and I'm gonna take a quick little screenshot right here. If we take a look at the chart and you're saying, Deck, why would you look to short this play? We got rejected at BBLG at $3. Rejected again, rejected again. Rejected, rejected, rejected. Little upper shadows right here, but ultimately got rejected. And I would say if this stock comes up towards this area, there's a great chance that we are going to get rejected and we're going to fall. I'm not sitting here doing calculations in my head. I'm not sitting here doing algorithms. I'm not sitting here and saying, hey guys, you know, you guys have to solve math problems. I'm literally looking at a chart and saying, you know what? We have been rejected the last 15 times in a row. If I was standing at a bar and there was some girl that was across the room who was attractive and 10 guys walked up to her in a row and she said no to every single one of them, and all of a sudden I saw guy 11 walked up and I went to my buddy and I said, hey, 20 bucks, this girl says no right to this guy's face, I would again assume that's going to happen, right? So again, what are we seeing over on these plays? We are seeing that we spike on up, we usually get rejected. Right now, is there a chance that all of a sudden this person walks on up and again they hit it on off and gets their number or what it could be? 100% that could happen. But in most cases, it's just going to continue to follow the trend. In most cases, it's just going to continue to follow what we've been seeing. In most cases, it's just going to follow again what we have in the past. So BBLG, spike and dump, 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 spike and dump. We did just come up to 292, starting to again get a little bit of weakness. If we can make like a free $200 on this trade, I think that would be a great starting on off and be able to say, hey, you know what? Let's, look for a nice little slow and steady fader here. So definitely all have potential. Traders, IPDN getting a little bit weaker. What about HWH? HWH, guys, remember, what's our target over on HWH? 740 target over on HWH. 740 target over on HWH. And also, how's CIGL? CIGL right here, traders. CIGL, quick little spike and quick little dump. BBLG, guys, got to keep my eyes peeled back over on that play. BBLG just hit a new high. BBLG just hit a new high. Still watching BBLG. Guys, ZNB just hit a high. Couple plays again, getting some quick little highs here. Right now, let's see if, again, BBLG is going to get that reversal, get that fade. Deck, where would you want to see BBLG? I would want to see BBLG down to the 260s. So, guys, right now we're up $270 on BBLG. Let's see if BBLG can get a nice fade back on down to underneath 265. We'll take profits. If we can go underneath 265, we'll make a little over $300, and that would be absolutely beautiful. So, we're at $300 right now. Ooh, guys, we almost had it. So, again, we're at $270 at this moment. Almost. I still think we could possibly get a nice little crack back on down. Almost had that little sell-off right there back on down towards that 260-ish mark. And again, that 260 area, BBLG, we should be able to make some nice money and be able to make a nice crack. Now, remember, we did this all with a $20 locate fee. $20 locate fee, getting 1,500 shares, looking for the sell-off and looking for this fade. So let's see, guys. We're still watching this one. Stock's trying to hold up slightly here. We'll give it a little bit of time, see what it does. Right now, though, sitting back. We're kind of going after a slower play right now. I'm not going after CIGL at this moment. I'm not going after HWH at this moment. A little bit of more slower and steady. Right now, VWAP is 278. I definitely want to stay underneath 278 VWAP. Above 278 is the potential the stock starts moving its way back on up. So again, VWAP, guys. Guys, I'm going to get out right here, break even. Deck, why are you going to get out right here and break even? I'm going to take a $0 win, a $0 loss. Why are you doing that? Because it's getting back above the VWAP. Whenever, again, you get back above the VWAP, sometimes that leads to a little bit of a spike on up. Now, hey, if I'm wrong and the stock dumps, it's fine. No harm, no foul. But at the same time, traders, let's see if BBLG, what this play is going to do next. I would rather re-enter as another touch up towards around $3. So, guys, can I ask you guys a question? Who here is enjoying? Who here likes my thought process? Who here likes me explaining every single trade? Who here is saying, Deck, you're making my trading easier. You're giving me the answers. You're helping me on out. You're helping me grow. That's what I want, for every single person here. I want you guys to be able to say that. I want you guys to be able to recognize that. So again, if you guys would like this, if you guys are over on YouTube, I am live every single freaking day. Every day we're live here, baby. So if you guys want to join the fun, if you guys want to join the party, make sure you guys sign on up to a free 7-day pass and you guys will be all ready to rock and roll. Make sure you guys sign on up, get after it, and let's have a ball. Right now, again, BBLG a little bit slow. Might still get a little bit of pop. BSLK guy, 13 EMA at 536. So right here, traders, 543, 13 EMA should hold up as a little bit of a resistance line. BBLG is finally getting weaker, guys. BBLG is getting weaker. We are back underneath the VWAP. Notice how we are building this downtrend. Back underneath the VWAP, building this downtrend. BBLG might get a little bit of a fade. And Deck, how low would this fade be? Probably back on down towards like 250 or so. It's, you know, just sitting right at support at this moment. That's the thing. It's sitting right at support. If that support cracks, it's going to go back down to 250. If you guys are holding BBLG still short, you guys are absolutely fine right now. Absolutely fine. Cracks of, again, that 270 and you start seeing 260s could accelerate that sell-off pretty well. Little heads on up. CIGL just start getting a little bit of a pop. Remember, what's the target over on CIGL? That 537 area. Target over on CIGL is going to be that 537 area. Iggy already making some money over on the CRM short and HWH. HWH, guys. Guys, look at that play. HWH, did that just get halted on the downside? I believe so. Man. So, traders, HWH, what goes on up can come right back on down. And that's the crazy thing. HWH team, what goes on up can come right back on down. This is one of those plays you can make a lot of money, and at the same time, obviously, you can lose a lot of money. So HWH right here and CIGL both trying to move it, both have a lot of action. So right now here, traders, HWH, what are you guys thinking over on this play? This play, Deck, how low can this play go up towards? You know, I think HWH might get a little bit of a chance to bounce back on up. BIGL is still what I think would be like the slow, BBLJ. BBLG would be more of like the slower, easier short in my eyes. If you guys are looking for that slow and steady little fade, you guys are starting to get it right now. So again, little heads on up. If you guys are still shorting that play, nice little slow and steady fade right there. CIGL, still trying to grind a little bit. CIGL, still trying to work itself on up. I will say HWH team has multiple times had big sell-offs and then bounced right back on up. So I will say that has happened a lot. Where we have seen, you know, this play have very big sell-offs and then bounce back on up. Let's try to figure out, I'm not going to look for a short on HWH. I would probably look for a dip buy, if anything. If I want to get involved over on HWH, I would probably be looking in between these two blue lines. If I could get an entry in between these two blue lines, I would feel pretty confident about it. I would say, hey, if we go from $7.15, let's just think about this here for a second. If we go from $7.15, we got halted on the downside at $6, and we start fading all the way back on down towards where we had old resistance, broke resistance, and where we had dip buy, somewhere between 530, where I would think would be the bottom, up towards around 560 would be a good area to be able to get filled that you should be able to see at least one or two green candles. So HWH, I am not opposed in any way. If you want to do limit orders, type in the price and go and just spread out orders from 560, 500 shares down towards, again, 550, 500 shares, back on down towards, again, 540. You know, I'm just kind of spreading out like different orders at different areas and say to myself, all right, hey, if I get filled at 560, great. 550, great. 530, great. You know, I'm just kind of spreading out orders where I think that there would be a lot of good opportunity. So I would do 2,000 shares on this play. That should be able to make us some good money. See if the stock can be able to get a little bit of a dump and then get a nice big green candle and bounce play right back on up. Raz, Deck, do I need to get hotkeys to get in and out fast? Nope, you don't have to do that whatsoever. So again, hotkeys are great if you like them. But again, if you want to get in and out quickly, you could just do a market order. Click one button. Deck, how do you get in so quickly? Go to the buy button with the market. Boom, you're in. Deck, how do you get out quickly? Go to a market order with the limit order, or excuse me, with the red button, the sell button. Boom, you're out, right? So again, market orders, get in, get out. Deck, what if I want to do a limit order? Limit order, again, limit orders are not meant to be fast. Limit orders are meant to, again, you place where you want. And if they get filled, great. But you know, hotkeys are great if you like using your keyboard. If you like using your keyboard, get hotkeys. If you just like using your mouse and clicking buy, in, boom, sell, boom. Market orders are going to be faster. But it just comes on down to personal preference. Do you want to, again, go ahead and place a limit order? Do you want to place a market order? Do you want to use your mouse? Do you want to use your keyboard? Alpha options, is the mid candle breakout the same as an inside day of or more distance since news based? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is that this? I'm not sure what an inside day is. Let me again, if you need any specific help, here's a lesson. I did this again a few years back, little heads on up. But again, I would say watch this. This whole entire thing will go over so you're all set. But how do you put the amount of shares you want with one click? Again, you would have to type it on out. So yes, if you want to have a little keyboard right here, that's, I click F1, 500 shares on the market order. F2, 1,000 shares on a market order. You can definitely do that. For me, I've just been doing this for so long, I'm comfortable with just typing everything out. So like for me, it doesn't take that long for me to type out this. Ready for this? Let's say I want 500 shares over on HWH. Let's see how fast I can do this. You guys ready for this? Watch this right here. Ready? 3, 2, 1, 500. That didn't take me that long, So yes, it's all personal preference. I do not mind going and typing out the word 500 or typing in this. Hey, Dek, you want to sell 500 shares. How do you do it so quick? Ready? 3, 2, 1, 500 shares, sell. Think, right? Very simple, very easy. BBLG, guys. BBLG with a little bit of a spike. Guys, BBLG, a little bit of a spike. Take a look. Remember, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance. We have been rejected at BBLG every single time. But please note and please remember, again, if you want to use hotkeys, use them. If you want to use market orders or limit orders, use them. If you guys, again, want this, again, use them. I want you guys to realize something. There is no one-way-fits-all type of trading strategy. It's about taking what you're good at, taking what your risk tolerance is. Are you skillful in this way or skillful in this way? Traders, there's an old saying that says, you can be a master of one strategy, or you can be average at 100 strategies. You can know 100 different strategies, but it's hard to master every single one of them. Let's think about this in a different example. Let's think about it as like martial arts, okay? There are any fighters in here. If I just study, if I just go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class every single day, probably within 10 years, I'm going to be a master of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But what if, again, I do 1 year of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then 1 year of karate, and then 1 year of judo, and then 1 year of wrestling, and then 1 year of this? Sure, I'm going to be solid at a little bit of everything, but I'm not going to be great at anything. You know what I mean? So again, when it comes down to trading, you could say to yourself, hey, Dek, I know about day trading. I know about swing trading. I know about this. I know about that. Find the one thing you really love and try to excel on that. And that's when you guys are going to be able to crush it, I think. So again, I'm really excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. Every single person here has been fired on up. Every single person here is, again, giving their all. We do have, again, HWH coming out live in the next few moments. That's going to be an absolutely awesome time. We'll see, again, if we're going to get a big-time dip and drop and be able to make some money. Big-time dip and fade and drop and move. I'm grooving. I'm feeling electric. I'm dipping and diving. I'm juking like I'm in the NFL, baby. Oh, big NFL game tonight. Eagles, Cowboys, my prediction. My prediction right here. 35-14 Eagles. That's my prediction. $35-14. Eagles. Eagles. Right now, CIGL, that one also got halted on the downside. Phew. CIGL's also getting a little bit of a dump. Now, team, we got 1 minute over on HWH. BBGL also not a bad play. Or excuse me, BBLG. BBLG, guys, got rejected off $3 again. Starting to get a little bit of weakness. If you guys just got a short off $3, that's pretty solid. I am kind of focused over on my HWH possible dip buy. Concrete Trader, Dek, you firing up the old DraftKings app? I gotta blow the dirt, the little dust off the DraftKings app. We hammering something tonight, boys? We hammering Vegas tonight? Maybe we'll get a little rambunctious. Maybe again we'll get the White Claws flowing a little bit, get a little loose, get a little crazy, start putting the house mortgage on some things, Start screaming at the TV. Traders, here we go. HWH opening up in 3, 2, 1. HWH not filled yet, guys. HWH not filled yet, but it's close. HWH, guys, getting filled right now. HWH just got 500 shares filled. HWH just got filled at that blue line. If it goes a little lower, I really don't mind. If, again, it does get a green candle and we get our little bit of a bounce back up to $6, I'll just take my profits right there. So, again, $6 or higher, take my profits. If it goes a little bit lower, no harm, no foul, right? Let's see what we can do right here. HWH just went from $7 all the way on down towards, again, 560. I did get filled at 560 with 500 shares. As I said, I wouldn't mind getting filled as it falls on down towards like 530. This is one of the hottest plays in the stock market today, and I would like to be able to get filled, see if I can get a little bounce play, move ourselves back on up towards $6 and be able to make some money. So, now filled with 1,000 shares. Again, averaging in. Deck, why are you looking for dip buys and bounce plays? Again, old resistance, right? Just want to make sure that we understand what's going on here. I'm looking for old resistance, breakout, dip buy, bounce, dip buy, bounce, dip buy, bounce. Looking for, again, entries from this blue line all the way down here for now our first green candle to move on up. Currently sitting right now with 1,500 shares at the price of $550. Goal would be get back up towards $585, $590, lock in $400. This is not a short. This is a dip buy looking to be able to get filled on a play that has gone from $7.15 and has now crashed almost $2. So I'm not buying a stock at a high. I'm not chasing the tops. I'm getting in on a stock after a $2 drop at very strong support. Does this make sense, everyone? So I'm getting in at a stock at strong support after a $2 drop on a hot play. Looking for good opportunities of success. That's what I'm looking for when I trade. Let's even get above 575 here. Start making a little bit more money. We're up $260 right now. Looking for a little bit of that green explosion back up to like 585 or higher. That's what we want. Green candle explosion. Notice we do have lower shadow here, lower shadow here. We have a good start, but we got to see if, again, buying volume is going to keep coming on in. Right now, team, we got a little bit of weakness right now. Come on, we got to get that dip buy. Got to see that green candle keep on going. Got to see that green candle keep on moving a little bit more. Got to see if, again, we can get that nice little rip and run. So far, we have had red candle, red candle, red candle, lower shadow, lower shadow. We are still looking for that bounce and that first green candle to move ourselves back up above 575. So that's what we're looking for right here. We have the area that we like. We have the area that we enjoy. But at the same time here, team, we have not had that green candle move in just yet. We are trying to find support, it seems like, right around 550. And then, of course, go from there. So right now, traders, Deck, what's your cost basis? 550. 550 is my cost basis. Looking for our first green candle to be able to push on up. I will most likely set a stop loss right around 549, 548. And if we crack underneath 550, I will get out because I don't want to get caught up in a dump. Little heads on up here, traders. Traders, I'm going to get out of this play right here and right now. I'm out of this play right here and right now. Deck, why are you doing that? Because, again, it's not doing what I want. Traders, I have a game plan. My game plan is what? Come on down, get filled and get a dip buy. Come on down, get filled and get a dip buy. Come on down, get filled and get a dip buy. We are not seeing the green candle yet. If we slowly move on down, we are losing the hype. We are losing the excitement. We are losing the craziness. We are losing the love of HWH is going to get the massive dip buy. I want to get filled. I want to dip buy. That's my game plan. Now, traders, I will tell you something. Right now, I am out of this play. I'm breaking even once again on my second trade in a row. I want to tell you guys something. When I first started stock trading, I used to make one major error. And this error, the moment I stopped doing this error, I started seeing more profits. This was the error I was making when I first started trading. And once I learned to correct this, it was able to make me a much more consistent, profitable trader. You guys ready to hear it? This is what it was. I would say to myself, I am going to enter at the price of $5. Hypothetical, $5. And I am going to get out if this stock falls on down to the price of $4.50. So I'm being a smart trader. I'm using my head. I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going to get at $5, but if it goes down to $4.50, that's where I will get out. But how many times have you guys ever jumped into a play, you get filled on the dip buy at $5, and you see it's just not working out? It's not doing what you want it to do. You might say, hey, Deck, I wanted to get filled at $5. I just got filled, and my goal was to see the stock spike back up to $7. I had a stop loss at $4.50. I'm able to have more reward than risk. But even though you are following a game plan, you realize that the stock's just not doing what you expected. You just see it fade and fall and fade and fall and fade and fall. We don't need to wait until we have max pain for us to get out of a play. Just because you have a stop loss as a safety net does not mean that we have to wait until we run into that safety net. If you realize that this stock is not building higher lows, if you realize that this stock is not finding support, if you guys realize that this stock is not holding up the way that you want it to, there is nothing incorrect with just getting out. There is nothing wrong with you saying, you know what, I had a game plan and it's just not doing exactly what I wanted to. So why don't I just minimize my loss or again, break even and then say to myself, hey, let me go after a play and see if it follows my plan. When I was a brand new trader, I would trade and I would hate hitting the L. I would hate hitting the sell button. I would hate saying to myself, oh, I'm taking a loss. But the issue that I did was I could have took multiple losses for $10, $20, $50, but instead I waited until I was at my max pain. I waited until I was down $400 before I said, ooh, this trade isn't working. Let's think about it as getting into a relationship. Let's imagine, guys, over on night one of the date. Night one of the date right here, team. We are again on a date, and all of a sudden you're across the table, and she picks up her phone and she says, "Hey, I'm sorry, this is my mom." And all of a sudden she starts screaming, "F you! I hate you, Dad! I hate you, Mom!" And all of a sudden she hangs up the phone. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize about that." It's like, whoa, I might be dating a psychopath. Okay, this is kind of crazy. She just went from being super nice to saying the F word at her mom and dad, and now again she's nice again. This is kind of weird, okay? Maybe I should take a little bit of a step back. You could, again, cut your losses right there and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay for this dinner. I'm going to go home. And again, I'm going to delete my Bumble app. You could say that. Or you could say, let's do 1 or 2 more dates. And then again, a few more red flags come on up. Maybe next thing you know, she picks you up and she says, oh, I have a knife with me just in case you try to kill me. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. But at the same time, maybe she just likes her protection in that way. I don't know. There's some red flags. Next thing you know, we're 4 months into this relationship and she showed up in your house while you're sleeping, holding that knife with a ski mask on, going through your text messages. Things sometimes get a little carried out of proportion. Same exact thing with, again, stock trading, right? It's like, Deck, where are we going with this? I'm saying we can get out here instead of getting out all the way down here. Guys, look what just happened over on HWH. HWH, I got in on this play at the price of $5.50. I got out at the price of $5.50. The stock then dumped all the way down to $5.17. I didn't have to go through that pain just to realize, oh, I should lose. Right? Now, some people might say, well, Deck, look at it. It's bouncing back on up right now. Guys, don't ever go with that attitude. Oh, if I hold it long enough, it'll bounce back on up. No, right? There's multiple times that the stock will not bounce back on up, and you will just keep losing, right? HWH. That was a dip buy opportunity I was going for. Yes, I like shorting. Yes, I like looking for dip buys. I like looking for both. I rarely look for buying at the high of the day looking for more. I don't like doing that. I don't like buying at the high of the day looking for more. I don't like chasing tops. I like getting for dip buys, or I like shorts. CIGL, guys, notice how it spiked a little bit short of that area right here. CIGL came on up, hit the 50-day moving average, then started dumping back on down. CIGL comes on up, hits the 50-day moving average, starts coming right back on down. BRIA, no. Guys, anyone see anything going crazy? BBLG still trying to hold on up a little bit. So BBLG still trying to hold on up here slightly at this time. BSLK, waiting and watching. SNTG. Do you guys see anything going nuts at this moment? POLA. I'll take a look at it. POLA, a little light in volume, but it's trying. What I will say is I like this chart setup a lot. I like POLA's chart setup. Higher lows building, 200-day moving average breaking, starting to get some hype. Guys, there was a good article this morning over on Fox Runner, and I kind of just want to read it. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Something that you guys can kind of take with you as well. Let's scroll on down to this morning here. And I think a pretty cool article that came on out. I kind of wanted to dive into it a little bit more and kind of give you guys a little bit more details on this. So look at this. It says electricity, high demand, low supply equals buying. So why was this interesting to me? I remember watching a YouTube video. Let me see here. I want to see if I can find it real quick. Interview with a billionaire. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this video here before. So this is like some guy, he's sitting outside of a private airport. And then basically, it's all guys with their own private jets. And he's like, oh, can I ride with you? You know, can I go with you? And then this guy allows him to go with him. And now this guy is a multi-billionaire. And they ask him, how did you make all your money? Right? How did you make all your money? And basically he says, oh, he made all his money through electricity. And it's like, what does that mean? Oh, he betted on electricity. He betted on, again, making money through electricity futures. And you kind of think about, like, what does that even mean? If you guys want to watch this video, I'll post this for you guys over in chat. You guys can go check that on out. I'll post that over on YouTube as well. But I thought that was, really cool, where he was like, oh, electricity. And I remember watching this video like last year. But again, that kind of stuck with my head because I always ask myself, like, what does that even mean? How does this guy, invest into electricity? Well, again, this morning over on Fox Runner, they came on out with an article that says electricity, high demand plus low supply equals buying. So look at this. It says, what fuels the current hot investment topic is what truly pays out big. All great investors can think outside the box. They don't always go for the shiny object, but instead they think what is making that object shine as the true opportunity. In my head, I was thinking about it in like, guys, you guys remember the California gold rush back in 1848? Remember, what we have here is, again, in California, people would go there to go ahead and find gold. Some people would find gold, but the people who got rich were the people who were selling shovels, who sold, hey, go ahead and find gold. Here's a shovel for you. Now, what does that mean here? What we're talking about at this moment is we are seeing AI, artificial intelligence. Now, traders, this is really big. This kind of goes into like a dark hole if you guys want to. Now, AI is what we have been talking about the last 2 to 3 years. You know that. I know that. We all know that we have been spending money left and right. If that's Facebook, Meta, Google, whoever, they've been spending billions of dollars on AI, right? The crazy thing is, AI, we have basically outpaced what our technology allows us to. So if we take a step back, we can realize the last 2-3 years, we have seen out of the Mag 7, nearly every single one of them spend over $1 billion investing into artificial intelligence. The fact that we have made these chips and that we have had these programs, the only thing that's now slowing us down is we actually don't have the power supply to be able to run this AI. We basically jumped over something that is so crucial. Hey, let's buy chips. Let's make the most powerful AI we possibly can. Hey, we did it. Let's power it up. Well, our power isn't actually strong enough for what we have been able to make. So we're looking at what is our electricity going towards. The most is AI exposure. So over the last 2 years, we have seen the beginning of the AI revolution. While stocks like Nvidia, AMD, SMCI have skyrocketed, investors are also asking themselves, what does AI need to do to actually work? And the answer is energy. Look at what has happened over on the annual US electricity demand over the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, it has been the highest we have ever seen. The electricity grid, the power that we need, is going higher and higher and higher and higher, which is just straining the grid even more, our electrical grid. It's the most energy we've ever needed, especially with AI now again saying, hey, we need this power. We need this for chips. We need this for electric cars. We need this for this and that. So if you guys do not know, for instance, a single prompt to a large language model like ChatGPT consumes around 0.01 to 0.03 kWh, roughly equivalent to a boiling cup of water. However, the cumulative impact is significant, with millions of users generating billions of queries daily. Platforms like ChatGPT can consume up to 10 to 30 megawatts per day, translating to 3.6 gigawatts annually. This scales with users' demand and model size. So basically, ChatGPT alone uses a lot of electricity. Now imagine what, again, we're building now and the amount of electricity that we're going to need. So what we have here is US utility power demand from data centers expected to more than double from current levels in the next 5 years. So again, all we need is power here. Traders, we know we have Amazon trying to get into nuclear power plants. They bought something in Pennsylvania. We have 3 Mile Island bought out by Microsoft. Meta makes a 20-year deal with a nuclear power plant. So team, imagine this. Imagine if you buy, let's think about it in a different example. Imagine if you bought a car and you bought a car of your dreams and you absolutely love the car, right? You say, this is the greatest car ever. And then all of a sudden you realize like, hey, you know what? There's no more gas. It's like, I just bought this car and now I can't drive it, right? Yeah, there's no gas. The thing is, we just built all these AI chips and we can't use them. No, there's no gas. There's not enough gas. So what has been going crazy? I don't know if you guys have realized or not, but you could see again, take a look. CEG, Constellation Energy Corp, has more than 200% in the last 2 years. SMEY has gone from $10 to over $100 in the last 2 years. GE has now gone from $150 to $600 in the last 2 years. This is not like something shocking. People realize this and notice this, that the electrical grid is just not up to date. Like it's not like a 2025. Guys, we're driving around. You have power lines going through cities and neighborhoods. We have, again, energy and electricity that's just not strong enough to power certain things. So all of these companies, it's, hey, we need this grid to be better. All right, let's invest. And you invest into these, power companies here. So if that's nuclear, if that's electricity, if that's whatnot. And then it was funny because I also thought about I thought about that video on that guy sitting on a private jet. And they're like, hey, how did you make $1 billion? He's like, oh, I invested into electricity. And it's like, what does that even mean? Well, now it makes sense, right? Doesn't it? Now it's like now I get what they're saying there. Now, again, I completely understand it here. So I really, really enjoyed that one. Guys, right here, let's see what else we have. We have 2 trades today. Broke even on both of them because I wasn't 100% happy with them. HWH still didn't really get that big dip buy. No big deal. BBLG right now, team. BBLG trying to make some magic happen. Basically, what has happened, BBLG got rejected a ton of times and finally fell in love. So BBLG got that nice rip and run. Guys, what else do we have? CIGL, anything massive here? No. Let's see, HWH. HWH still just kind of fading right now. Looking for, again, a nice big mover on this day. I want to see something with a little volatility. Guys, NCI 220. Deck, how high can NCI go? NCI is probably going to try to run on up towards its previous old highs. So NCI stock ran all the way up towards around that. It can run up towards around $3. NCI $3 area target. So maybe, again, NCI, quick little pop, $3 could be a nice little shorting opportunity. Remember, all it takes is one trade. I might get in 5 different trades on the day, win 100, lose 100, win 100, lose 100, win 100, lose 100, and all of a sudden, bang, win 1,400. So sometimes it's just trial and error. Sometimes it's just trying to figure out which play is actually going to produce. Sometimes it's just, again, trying to find the play that's going to make you the most amount of money. Guys, what about SOGP? Guys, SOGP right now, having a little bit of weakness. SOGP, this was, again, top gainer, $3 all the way up to $30. $3 to $30, guys. SOGP. What if this one starts getting a little bit of weakness? What about INDP, right? Or IPDN, I believe it is. IPDN still trying to hold on up. Guys, IPDN, if this one ever starts squeezing, we might be able to get some hype. Team, take a look over on IPDN. I would say IPDN is definitely on a little bit of this downtrend. If we can break through $9, there is a chance that IPDN is going to start getting some hype once again. So right now I'm kind of on like the hunt. I'm in my little, lioness mode. I'm sitting out here in the long grass of the Serengeti, shoulder blades going back and forth, waiting for a little tasty gazelle. I'm in the mood for some gazelle today. I want to rip up a little gazelle ass. You know what I'm saying? So again, at this moment, what we're looking for is IPDN. Is this play going to be able to squeeze and spike back up towards, $10 plus? I do like the little downtrend. I like how we have an overall uptrend here still. We might be able to see an IPDN pop wear up towards, maybe up towards around like that 1085 area. So possibility for a trade. See if IPDN can maybe start moving. Previous top gainer. See if that one can get back above $9 and start going. If IPDN starts dumping though, it ain't going to be worth it for us. Waiting for that first big mover of the day. AEO getting a little weaker after their earnings report. IPDN also getting a little bit weaker right now. I know you guys are also keeping your eyes peeled over on ZNB. ZNB, guys, kind of a little bit of a crazy one. Newer IPO-ish type of play. New IPO came back out in August 22nd. Stock's trying to move itself on up here. A little bit slower this morning. I agree with you, Big H. Little bit slower. Waiting for, again, some new opportunities to present itself. Doesn't have to be shorts. Could be longs as well. ALBT. CIGL. BBLG. Come on. BBLG. Nice big upper shadow coming back on down. The big thing is $3 used to hold up as a very strong support line. $3 is very strong support. Or resistance. Now it will hold up as strong support. So again, BBLG, nice big upper shadow. Room to fall back on down to 275 if the stock does continuously keep on fading. If you guys are interested on it, you could definitely look for a short back over on BBLG if it gets a little bit of a pop back on up. Probably anywhere back up near around 350s. BBLG could be a nice little short back down to $3. Still watching to see if IPDN is going to get any sort of action. Waiting for that first big one here, team. Looking for that first big one. Ink poisoning. Deck, I got in on ZNB at, again, 1,500 right there. All right, I made 1,500 bucks. Great work. I always love that, guys. You guys get me fired on up. You guys get me fired up right here. I am so excited for this day. So excited for this opportunity. So excited to see what we got. Again, our starting goals here today. Remember, CIGL, our target was up towards around 546. Resistance was 425. Kind of broke through that. HWH resistance was at 625. Target was 740. Came on up towards around 720. We did have, again, also SOGP. SOGP, guys, has, again, a resistance at 30 bucks. Seeing if that one could get all the way up towards around $35 or so. Right now, HWH team is getting a little ugly. HWH at this point, it's most likely, I mean, it already kind of did fall all the way down towards $5. Deck, I wasn't here for the boot camp last week. Where are those lessons? I got you right here. These are 100% private. So again, unfortunately, everyone over on YouTube cannot see these. These are only for, again, Tradecaster members only. So you can go ahead, check those on out. I apologize, guys. I don't have day 4 up yet. It's still loading. It's loading right now. It should be up probably in the next 2 hours. But day 4, the final day, will be up here soon. Right now, traders watching to see where the next rip and run's going to be at. Am I taking crazy pills, or is everyone else having a tough time to find a little momentum right now? I want to make sure I'm not just sitting here rambling on, right, guys? Like, everyone's not seeing any sort of crazy rips and runs right now. Things are a little bit slower. And I mean, I definitely understand it. We didn't have that much news today. Let's also go over this team. Let's, talk about this. Nice research, little morning so far, until maybe we get something a little hotter. Some good research. What happens when the Feds cut rates? Let's think about this, guys. So what does the past tell us about the future? It says, this is what happens when the Feds cut rates when the stock market is within 2% of its record highs. That's right now. So within right now, 2% of the record highs, what does the stock market do? Historically, the stock market's reaction to the Federal Reserve interest rate cuts depend on economic context, the size of the cut, the market expectations. Generally, rate cuts are intended to stimulate the economy growth by borrowing costs, which could boost corporate earnings. So for anyone who doesn't even understand rate cuts, the whole idea of it is to make the economy be stimulated, which in return makes it go crazier. Team, when we cut rates, okay, your mortgage loans could go from 7% down to 5%, maybe down to 4%. This is going to allow you to give less money to your mortgage and more money to spend. When you, again, have less interest rates, you can swipe that credit card more and have a less of a monthly bill to pay it back. When you have lower interest rates, you could go out and buy a car and finance a car. And when you finance your car, guess what? Instead of having a $2,000 a month, payment, it might be again $500 a month. That's a big exaggeration, but you guys get what I'm saying. When we cut rates, it's allowing people to be able to have loans and borrow money for cheaper so that they have more money to spend on more things. When people are spending money left and right, it stimulates the economy, it stimulates growth. And that's what we want to see here. So, what would be a bullish case, right? A bullish case of not cutting rates and the markets going on a spike is what we are in now, in a non-recessionary environment. We're not in a recessionary environment. The stock market is at all-time highs. We are, again, seeing a nice bull run over the last, 8 months here. So we are most likely going to be seeing the market. What do we have here? Over the following year, we usually see a 10 to 15% return after the first cut. Guys, September is when we're having the first cut. What would be a bear case? What we're not in, right? This would, again, be leading towards a drop. And again, over the 12 to 18 months, but we're not even in this. So traders, let's take a look at this chart right here. This chart right here, the S&P 500 returns after the Fed's cut within a 2% of all-time highs. That's what we're in right now. So whenever the Feds cut rates, which are doing in September, when we're near all-time highs, what has happened every single time from 1980 to 2024? Over the next year has always been green. There has never in history been a time where we have cut rates and the next 12 months were red. Now, we can see that we do get a drop. We can see the next month or the next 3 months, but you could see over the next 6 months and the next 12 months, every single year has been green after we've cut rates where we are now near record highs. Okay? So, while I'm saying, hey, September is known to be red, September can 100% be red. We could see September fall 10%. But once we cut rates, guys, it is most likely going to be working its way back on up, making everything green once again. So S&P 500 all the way up there. I thought that was, again, another very kind of cool informational data. Don't fall into fear-mongering. Fear-mongering where people are saying to themselves, oh, hey, the big recession. Guys, we have a big recession right around the corner. It's going to be happening any moment. Guys, again, if someone tells me that, just send them this chart. Just take a screenshot of this chart, go to your Fox Runner, just download this chart, and just say there has never been a time in history that over the next 12 months, after we've cut rates, after being, again, at a record high, we have ever fallen. It just hasn't happened. Now, could it happen? 100%. But for the last 50 years, it has never happened. So the thing is, I'm going to go with the stats. I'm going to go with this. It would be like, let's go opposite, guys. Let's imagine, and you know how much I trust the numbers when it comes down to stock trading. It would be like jumping with a parachute. And the instructor says, heads on up. This parachute has never opened before. Yes, it's supposed to work. It never has opened. And you jump out of the plane saying, I'm going to give it a shot anyway. It's just like this. Hey, Dek, I think we're going to have a big stock market crash. Why? Oh, because, again, I watched this YouTube video. Well, over the last 50 years, it has not. The last 50 people who jumped with that parachute, it did not work. Guys, I'm not jumping with a parachute that the last 50 people that used died. I'm not going to go against the market when the last 50 times we did this, the market spiked on up 20%. So for me, it's all bulls, baby. For the next 13, 14 months, I see nothing but a bull run. For the next 13, 14 months, I see nothing but climbing and spiking and moving and ripping and running. Now, yes, there could be down periods. Yes, we could see, again, red days and red weeks. Yes, 100%. But overall, right, we're going up. Trust the numbers. Trust the facts. CIGL here. Let's make sure that we're all good. Another press release just came out. I just heard my keyword success. Success press release. PRZO just came out with a press release a few seconds ago. Let's actually read this. I was listening, and all of a sudden I heard a keyword. PRZO, 3-star word, success. Just came out at 10, 15, and 19 seconds. Success with first ever counter drone. Talks about trial and demonstrations. And what stock was that? That was over on PRZO. Could that maybe start getting a little bit of hype right now? PRZO, I mean, let's keep it on the back burner right here. See if PRZO starts getting any sort of action behind it. See if PRZO maybe starts getting a little ripping and running. I would say if PRZO ever starts getting up towards like 145 or so, we might, be watching this one super early, and that could be great. So let's just see if that one maybe gets a little bit of fire behind it. But yes, team, I know, again, you might not have heard that, but just a little heads on up for every single person that if you guys don't and you guys want to. Number one is, again, I always have my specific keywords. Now, again, your keywords, you guys can change them in two different ways. Number one, you can add keywords for your rating system. So you can edit your keyword list right here and add whatever keywords you want for, again, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star words. So basically, whenever, again, a hot keyword comes out in the title or in the press release, it gives me 3-star, 1-star, 3-star, 1-star words. You can now edit that list and make whatever keywords you want. On top of that, if you want a specific word highlighted, aka all the 3-star and 4-star words I like, then again, I go ahead and highlight them. And if you click this button, that turns on voice alerts for you. So again, every single time you'll hear a press release come out with one of your favorite keywords. So basically, again, PRZO, I wasn't even looking at the scanner, but I heard the word success comes on out. So I heard, again, a little AI voice say success. So again, that's how I kind of found that real quick. Now, PRZO is not doing anything too crazy, but it's just about being first over on these plays. Now, maybe PRZO is going to pick up a little bit of hype. We'll see. I don't know. But at the same time, guys, it's just always about getting these messages first. So if you guys do not have Fox Runner, make sure you guys go do it. It is free. They do have a free base plan, but at the same time, guys, they also do have a free 30-day pass if you sign up to the premium plan. So again, there is two plans right there. You guys can use the base plan where you do get the news. You just don't get like keywords or anything like that. You guys don't get voice alerts. Or you can, again, sign up to the paid program, and then you also get free 30 days and all the features and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys go check that out. If you guys do not use that, that is the #1 scanner I use. If I had to rank my scanners, I would say Fox Runner is #1. It's literally how I get every single press release every day, followed by Trade Ideas would be #2. I need Fox Runner to find plays. I know, again, people watch me over on Twitter or over on YouTube, and it's like, oh, Deck's always aware of every single play. I would not be aware of it if I didn't have Fox Runner. Now, again, after I have Fox Runner and after I have those plays, then I take it over to Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is where, again, I dissect it over on the chart, things like that. So, I do use them hand in hand, but I need to be able to find the plays first to be able to dissect them. So, kind of goes back and forth, hand in hand, whichever one you guys kind of like a little bit better. Of course, Trade Ideas is great as well. You guys can go ahead and check this on out. Bada boom, bada bing. And you guys are all good. Also, last but not least, Deck, if you ever want the same broker that I'm using. Again, Deck shorting all the plays that I use for shorting. So again, Cobra Trading is the best broker out there. Tons of discounts. Traders, now also, little heads on up for you guys. I will say this. Cobra is actually sponsoring the rooftop over on October 2nd. So I know I'm starting to hype this up a little bit. We got about 1 month away. October 2nd, every single person here is invited. We are not selling tickets. This is not anything you have to pay for. We are just setting up a New York City takeover. So we are, again, setting up October 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Everyone come on through to 230 in the 5th Rooftop Bar in New York City. We are, again, just going to tell I'm telling my Twitter with 100,000 people. I'm telling my Instagram. I'm telling my TikTok. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling Discord. I'm telling everyone. Come up to 230 in the 5th on October 2nd at 6 p.m. I just want to make the whole entire rooftop nothing but traders, nothing but investors. So again, it's not like there's tickets. There's nothing like that. I'm just trying to have a New York City takeover free event. Let's connect. Let's talk. Let's meet other people. And then on top of that, guys, Cobra is going to sponsor it now, which means I'm going to be able to pick like 20 to 30 people to get wristbands where you guys get free drinks and free food all night. So is there anyone here, and let's see, maybe I'll give away some wristbands right now. Is there anyone here that's 100% going to come? Say, Deck, I'm going to be there. I'm going to come. I'm going to fly in. I'm going to do whatever. That's saying, hey, Deck, I'm coming. Maybe, again, I give away some free drinks and free food wristbands right now. Because, again, if we have, let's say, 1,000 people show up, Cobra is not going to pay for every single person's food and drink. I know how crazy you guys could get, but we are going to get probably like 100 people where I'm going to give away wristbands to, again, certain of you individuals that can drink and eat all night for free. So, October 2nd, 6 p.m., New York City, baby, 2:30 in the 5th Rooftop. I'm going to be there in the morning as well. I'm actually going to be part of, I don't know if you guys saw this again, a while ago. This was probably last month. Last month, I was invited out to do the NASDAQ closing bell. You guys see me? I was on CNBC. I was up there. I was clapping. It was fun. Now again, I just got invited to do the New York Stock Exchange opening bell. So again, I just did the NASDAQ closing bell. Now I just been invited to do the New York Stock Exchange opening bell on October 2nd. So October 2nd, I will again be out of the chat because I'm going to be in New York City doing the opening bell in the New York Stock Exchange. And then I'm going to again be setting this on up, getting ready for everyone to come on through. Again, it's just going to be a Thursday fun night. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy it, guys. So you guys are all set. John, how do we get the free version of Fox Hunter? Just again, sign up, add your name, I believe. I'm pretty sure, again, just add your name and download the platform. You don't got to pay for anything. So again, you will have to, it's limited, little heads on up, but you will get news and such. But I don't use the free version, but I'm pretty sure it's as simple as just like signing on up. I'm not exactly sure, but I know there is a free version. I'll be there. All right, guys, how about this? Next week, I'm going to, I'll give away, let's go with 5 wristbands. So you guys can figure out if you guys can come or not. Next week in chat, I'll give away 5 wristbands to free drinks, free food, October 2nd, okay? But I'm expecting, I don't know, to be honest, maybe like 400 people to show up. So it's going to be a really fun event, guys. It's going to be really cool. BMNR, the Ethereum play. We know, again, BMNR, one of those Ethereum stock plays. How's MSTR? MSTR is the stock I want to short so bad. Whoa, MSTR, guys. Why didn't anyone tell me MSTR was falling like this? Guys, MSTR, this was the play again. I wanted to, no one told me about MSTR falling this big right now. This is, again, one of my favorite plays for a possible short. I might have to start shorting this play. We, again, talked about this play, when was that? On Monday, I want to say. Let me go back, or Tuesday, excuse me. Let's go back to this. This was crucial. This was so important. Let's scroll on back and talk about MSTR real quick. MSTR, this was one of those plays that 100% caught my interest right here, traders. This is nuts. So again, this is crazy. I wanted every single person to be aware of this. Massive week ahead for MSTR. MicroStrategy is make or break week is here. MicroStrategy, MSTR, the make or break week is right now. So what is going on right now? And let me just explain this so you guys can read behind me as I'm going on. It's MicroStrategy. Nobody cares at all. No one gives a flying about MicroStrategy software. They don't care about the program. They don't care about revenues. They don't care about anything within actual MicroStrategy. All people care about is MicroStrategy is a way to be able to invest into Bitcoin through a leveraged stock. So for instance, what I mean by this is all MicroStrategy is going to do is essentially follow whatever Bitcoin does. If you do not want to go out, open up a wallet, a hot wallet, a cold wallet, Deck, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to buy Bitcoin. Most investors just say, you know what? I'm just going to buy MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is the largest holder of Bitcoin. There's no one else that has more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. So in a sense, whatever Bitcoin does, MicroStrategy is going to do. Now, why is this so important? Because September is the worst performing month of the year for Bitcoin. Now, it's not only Bitcoin, it's also, again, the S&P 500. You guys can just go over to Google right here. Just type in S&P 500 monthly performance. What do you guys see of the S&P 500 monthly performance? For the last, let's just go with 100 years, the S&P 500 is red in September. For the last 50 years, the S&P 500 is red in September. For the last 1996 to 2025, 30 years, the S&P 500 is red in September. Why is that so important? Because also Bitcoin is red in September. As you guys can see, let me make myself a little bit smaller right here. What happens in September? On average, there's a 3.77% drop. 3.77% drop over on Bitcoin. So usually we have 3% gains, 13% gains, 13% gains. Guys, look at October, 21% gains, November, 46% gains. Why is it that September is the only month that's red? So we have the S&P 500 falling. We have Bitcoin falling. Bitcoin is going to fall and bring down MSTR. Now, when we take a look at a MSTR's chart, the biggest thing is right here, team. MSTR, this is massive. MSTR has not been underneath the 50-week moving average for the last 2 years. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. Look at the sell-off that could happen once we go underneath 330. Take a look at over on MSTR right here. MSTR on a daily chart at this time, guys. A daily chart over on MSTR does have the 50-day moving average. We're underneath it. We're bearish. 13 EMA underneath it. We're bearish. 200-day moving average underneath it. We're bearish. We're bearish on all 3 main indicators. Now let's go back over to a weekly chart. Weekly chart, we have bounced off the 50 week, bounced off the 50 week, bounce. This is the first time in the last 2 years we are crashing underneath the 50 week moving average with the perfect storm of Bitcoin having a red month, S&P 500 most likely having a red month, and this is the very beginning of S&P 500 maybe falling and fading all the way down towards 290, 280, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of opportunity for some big shorting ahead over on MSTR. A lot of opportunities for some big fading, some big dropping coming up in the future here. I want to make sure that everyone's aware of that. So again, MSTR, you guys could do option contracts. You could do shorts on this play. I mean, this stock should just continuously fade and fall, though. Underneath 320, I might just do an MSTR all day short, and just say, hey, you know what? Let's let it fall and fade all day. See if MSTR can just keep on dumping and getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So guys, MSTR, I'm shorting right now. And I think I'm just going to hold this until the end of the day. I might just short MSTR until the end of the day with, again, 100 shares on the short side. Every single time it drops $1, it just continues to fade and drop and fall. So I'm thinking about just doing a short over on MSTR. I'm getting in a little bit later than what I wanted. Again, I did want to wait for that 330 crack and try to enter. But at the same time, I think, again, MSTR has a lot more to go. I think MSTR could fade and fall all the way down to 300. I think MSTR could fade and fall all the way down to 290 over the next few days. So I'm going to do 100 shares on the short side. It's about a $32,000 investment. And I think I'm just going to hold this for the rest of the day. I think I'm just going to hold this and see if we can fall down to 315, 311, 312, and see if this one can just keep on dropping. And if it can fall over the next few days, and I make $100 for every dollar it drops. So if it drops $10, that's $1,000. $20, that's $2,000. So if I'm in right now at the price of 320, if it goes down to 318, that's $200. So I really like that play a lot. Especially, last week I was able to make $1,500 on that. So last week I made $1,500 shorting MSTR from around the price of 350 down to 340. Now again, coming up towards around 320. I think I'm just going to let this ride out for a little bit. I think I'm just going to let this, short for a while and see if this thing can fade and fall and drop. I like that. Especially if everything else is slow, right? Especially if everything else is slow. Especially if everything else is getting a little weaker. Let's see here. CIGL. So right now here, team, we got to continue to stay smart, watch and wait. But yeah, I think I'm going to let that rock all day. Let that rock all day. Dek, would you get out of this play if it maybe bounces back up to 330? Yes, I probably would. At the same time, though, I'd probably just re-enter anyway. So it's not like we've seen anything go on a crazy rip and run today. We're not seeing anything go on massive spikes. We're not seeing anything go on massive climbs. It's more about, I guess, right now it's just a slow little fade. And maybe this market can be able to pick on up and keep on dropping. I usually do hate shorting stocks near bottoms. Just a little heads on up. Just like I hate buying stocks at highs, I do hate shorting stocks near bottoms. But this is what I've been waiting for. I have been sitting here and waiting for this, guys. This crack of the the crack of the 50-week moving average. So I have been sitting here and waiting for this crack of the 50-week moving average. I've been sitting here and waiting for that possible sell-off and that possible dump. And again, Dek, what's a realistic target? Realistic, I'd probably say is 275. 275, I think, is a realistic area. If we do fall down to 275, I mean, this could be a nice $5,000 profit. We'd be going from 320 down to 320 down to 310. That's $1,000. 310 to 300. That's $2,000. 300 to, again, 290. That's going to be $3,000. 290 to 280. That's $4,000. So again, I think this trade, if I actually hold on to it that long over the next week or so, we could be seeing sub 300. Traders, right now it's 10:31 in the market. Don't be surprised if, again, MSTR ever started getting back up towards around like 325 or so. If that ever started happening. Definitely could get bounce plays. I just want to see if there's anything else. Ooh, look at Neon. Yikes, a Roni. Neon's been falling apart. Right now here, trader CIGL. Let's go through all the top gainers together, team. Going through all the top gainers together. CIGL, weakness. BBLG. BBLG, this is a weird one. Why? Because it keeps having upper shadows and then fading and falling. So it's kind of like upper shadow, fade and fall, upper shadow, fade and fall, upper shadow, fade and fall. But last time we had all these upper shadows at $3, it hit it 6 times, then it broke out. Is $4 the new $3? Are we going to hit $4 and fade and fall? Hit $4 and fade and fall. Hit $4 and fade and fall. That could easily happen as well. DLTH, a little bit of hype. I don't know, guys. What are you guys thinking about today? What are you guys thinking about today? What do you guys think about the momentum? What do you guys think about the hype? What do you guys think about the action here? Just a little heads on up as well. All these YouTube videos for, again, the boot camp. We went over 7 hours of teaching you guys everything I know about stock trading. If you guys have not watched that, you guys can go ahead and check that on out. These are, again, the first day 1 boot camp. Notice how it says unlisted, which means it's private to Tradecaster members only. You will not be able to find that to the public. Again, that's for Tradecaster members only. So just a little heads up for you guys there. All right. Team, I want to open up the floor. Any questions, comments, or concerns, anything that you guys need from me in any sort of way, all I want to do is help you. All I want to do is see you guys grow. All I want to do is see you guys crush it. If you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns right now, please let me know. I did go after 2 trades today. Both of them I just broke even on because I wasn't in love with them. Now, again, I do really like MSTR. As I said, I kind of hate buying at the low of MSTR. I wish I got in at like 328, 327. Regardless, I think I'm going to just hold this stock for the rest of the day and hold it tonight unless we get back above 330. If we get back above 330, I would be down about $800, $900, and then I probably would get out of this play. But as long as we're underneath 330, under 325, 326, I'll probably just keep on holding, right? It's not like, you know, for me, if I lose $500, that's okay. The risk of losing $500 is way smaller than the reward of possibly $5,000. Tom V. Deck, can you recommend a prop firm? Again, as you guys know, the prop firm that I always talk about is One Stop Prop. They've just always been very kind, very nice. Again, I do not own One Stop Prop. I do not have any ownership in One Stop Prop in any sort of way. But they reached out to me, like what, 3, 4, 5 months ago, and they've just always been very considerate. They've been very nice. They've listened to us. They, been able to help out traders. So I always, again, recommend if you ever use a prop firm account, to go use One Stop Prop. And it seems like, again, the people who have used them have really enjoyed it as well. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Team, you know what I did dive into the black hole on yesterday? I'll tell you. I will tell you right now what I dove into. Every night, team. I want to know what my schedule is. Every night, I, again, go out. I usually do some sort of lifting or, some sort of activity like that. I've been doing some Brazilian jiu-jitsu recently. I'm not good. I just get tapped out every single night for like an hour straight, and then I go home. And then after that, I, again, slowly take off my clothes. I warm up a nice little bubble bath and soak for at least 3 hours. Then after that, guys, I sit in front of my computer, and I always try to think about what's the next big technology, what's the next big revolution, what's the next big opportunity, what's the next big trade right here. And I did dive into kind of like the next form of travel. That was my dark hole yesterday. And if anyone hasn't seen it, what I would be saying is, because I'll also say this as well. I also, again, thought to myself, I was sitting in traffic yesterday, and I was like, there has to be something better. I have said this to myself where I said, why are we sitting in traffic? Why are we doing that? Like, we are too advanced for this. So what's coming on up, as you guys know, in the next few years, maybe it's the next few years, maybe it's going to be longer, but we do know it's going to be those ETOLs, which are going to be like these flying small helicopter plane things. And what are these? these right here, traders, is basically a mixture between an airplane and a mixture before a helicopter. Now, why is this important? Because these right here is going to be the next Uber. They want to have millions of these. Millions. And if you want to, let's say you live in New Jersey and you want to fly to New York City, Manhattan, instead of you going from an hour and a half of traffic, this takes you 10 minutes. And how much does it cost? It costs as much as like an Uber Black. So it'll probably cost from New Jersey to Manhattan, maybe again $80. And it only takes 10 to 15 minutes. So, just like Elon Musk created the electric vehicle, where he had to go through all these regulations and all these different rules and laws, could again Joby or Archer start, instead of again having electric vehicles, they have electric helicopters or electric planes, where we have this new set of transportation. New set of transportation where it's not loud, it's not noisy. You can take off straight up. You can go quickly. It's affordable for every single person. It's the same exact thing as an Uber. You can call one. It comes to you. You get in. You fly away. Could that actually be the future? Well, again, that's kind of what I was diving into last night. There are two main competitors right here. As you guys know, it is Joby is the main one. Joby, guys, this is the main one right here. Joby is, again, a stock that's currently sitting at $12.99. They are only one stage away from getting passed through the FAA. And then after that, they're all good, ready to go. Then on top of that, guys, we also have Archer, ACHR, which is at $8. Archer, they have partnerships with, I forget, but we have Joby, who has partnerships with Toyota. They have partnerships with Uber already. So there's Joby with, again, some big partnerships. And there is Archer. Someone helped me out. I think it was a partnership with like the U.S. Army, right? So again, that could be something that's really cool. I mean, you kind of see all those like futuristic movies and they always have these, but we actually don't have them in real life, right? So they have Archer Aviation. I think they have like something called the Midnight. Something Midnight. Yeah, like look at this thing, guys. This thing looks pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. So that thing looks pretty cool. That thing looks pretty sick. That thing looks pretty awesome if you ask me. Right? The Midnight eVTOL. So, I mean, you see that thing flying across the sky right there. It's like, all right, hey, this thing is, meant for business. I feel like we see these over in, what movie was I watching the other day? Avatar? Yeah, they have. That's kind of what it looks like. Doesn't it? Kind of looks like one of these. Kind of like a little Halo Warthog type of deal. I mean, hey, I'm sure the future of aircraft is around the corner. And it could be a very exciting thing. Deck, first day trading today over on Cobra. Was able to make a little over $250. Let's go. Let's go. Amazing job and amazing work. I love that. So, team, a little bit slow here today. I'm going to wrap it on up. And I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for everyone who's joining us, having some fun, having an absolute ball, and crushing it. Get ready for October 2nd in New York City. That's going to be great. Hey, enjoy a little bit of the football tonight, and let's just keep this party going. As you guys know, if you want to be able to join us every single day, get on over here, tradecaster.com. You guys do have a free 7-day pass. Yes, we brought back 7-day passes, and you guys will access the brand new boot camp. Other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has joined us on this day. I hope you guys are crushing it. I hope you guys are loving life. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And as you guys know, I will be live streaming every single day, bringing top tier education, top tier content, top tier alerts. And right now, I do plan on holding MSTR for, as long as it's underneath 330. Okay? As long as it's under 330, I'll probably continue to hold. Other than that, this has been a great play. It's been a great day. I'll put up the live stream for Tradecaster members, but YouTube guys, I'm heading out of here. Thank you so much. Hey, everyone, help me on up. Let's do this, baby. You guys know the drill here. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Thank you, guys. I hope you guys crushed it. I hope you guys enjoyed those profits. I hope you guys made some money today, and you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. You guys are fantastic. I love you. I'll see you guys later on. Did you make money today? Did you make a profit today? Did you come out on top today? I'm the Batman.
I got this question the other day. Why are you
So I
successful?
ball so hard, motherfucker.
$1,000 profit today.
First niggas gotta find me.
$700.
50 grand to a motherfucker like me. Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy.
$1,000.
Y'all know that don't shit phase. And as we go,
Lock it on up.
too when I look at you like this shit gravy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even Pope be here. Ball so hard since we
1,400.
here. It's only right that we be fair.
Who's ready for $1 million a year?
You should be asking how to be successful.
Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6.